Oh wait! I got to do it now. Wait! This is gonna be funny. Wait! You ready? Wait. I got to do it.
This is awesome. This is awesome. This is amazing. I love it.
It was psychological. It was emotional. Extremely entertaining.
But as always, as we try to say here, as we said, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And as we talk about this video, please like on the video and comment on the video, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Iron Panther Presents. Today we say goodbye to Gen V as we talk about season 1, episode 8 finale. Again, Gen V has already been renewed for a season 2, so there'll be more from these young adults coming soon. But what do we think of the graduation, if you will? So what you got, Chris? What you got for the?
I just love how, I mean, you didn't mean it intentionally, but you says we'll be seeing these young adults coming soon. That kind of wraps up season 1, man. That right there, you know.
It was a lot of coming. It was a lot of coming. It was,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
no, the finale. Well, the finale was really dope. I had a feeling we were going to get like a big outright war going on at the end of the finale, and it did just that. So loved all that. I mean, I love how, hell, we were wrong in the sense we were like, oh, okay, well, at the end, A-Train or someone on that level, we were like, there's gonna have to be someone lower level. And no, what did we get? We got 2 bigs. We got Homelander, and then we got Billy Butcher. I was like, at the end, I was like, oh shit, more like Homelander, than anything. But I was like, oh snap. I was like, well, it makes sense. Like, you got these guys who could take them out. Who could just keep everyone orderly? Homelander. Even with that twist at the end with him, like just being like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, and I was like, I was actually afraid for our main character, for Maria. I was like, oh fuck. Like, I know I said she was gonna make the distance, but part of me in that episode, the way he was looking at it, I was like, oh my God. I was scared. I was like, you need to like give him a heart attack or something, girl. Give him a heart attack. Like, do something. I know, right?
I was like, we had a good run.
I was so worried for her.
We had a good run.
yeah. Right after she blows up Kate's arm and everything, I'm like, uh-oh. It's like he just saw that. It's like you're attacking your own. I'm like, oh God, this is not a good look. But awesome. I thought the finale was freaking good. So, what about you?
I was like, it was, as we talked about last week, I was like, okay, we're gonna get a soup on soup war. Like, got it. It was very, again, X-Men-esque. Kate definitely became Magneto in this situation. Especially when they're leaving the house and she's like, what you gonna do? Right? Like, you really gonna stop Sam? And they're like, nah. They walked out. I was like that's Magneto to be like I got bigger weapons, right? So what you want to do?
That was a good one. We said, yeah, you can beat my ass, but can you beat his? I'm like, oh shit. I was like, oh shit. Yeah,
it's like he was like, never mind, you can walk on by.
Yeah. Jordan's like, you got this.
You got round one. You got round one. So that being said, though, I thought that we would see Kate recruit more members to her side, and as opposed to just Soups, like she released the people from the woods, but that was just like, a random group of, of renegades that just happened to say, we also want to hurt people that hurt us, type of thing. But I thought she would have more of a team, like an actual focused, planned team or something. And on the same side, I thought Jordan, it was really just Jordan and Marie, for the most part, Andre was pretty much trying to take care of his dad, to an extent. He helped out with the helicopter. So I thought we would get more of that. Emma is crying because Sam finally told her the truth, and that got on my damn nerves, to be honest. I was like,
it did. I kind of like the aspect, but I can understand how you just don't want that in the show.
Like this is that's why this is a young adult show. That right there, I was like, we would not see that with grown ass people. Like this was a girl. Like, again, I told she had self-esteem issues, bro. Like she finally found a man that would have sex with her as a grown woman, I guess. And she was like, I thought we had something. Like, he's a murderer, bitch. Like, how did you not see that? Like, oh, I can't believe that you would do this. Yeah, like I was gonna kill the scientist. That's how we met. You know, I mean, you know, at one point. So
I mean, I kind of feel like the boys kind of have that too, like with the whole thing with Starlight and the whole thing with the Deep. You know what I mean? Like and the whole thing with them even going from the very first episode, or was it first episode, and then how it kind of anytime they showed them those two interacting, it was always that, and then it turned into the Deep having other accusations from other women and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? But I hear you. I mean, I think I would probably agree with you if they kind of made that like kind of the overall like main story. You know what I mean? The fact it was just kind of a side story with just Emma, you know, with the side, you know,
I hear you.
I was okay with it, but I hear you. I hear you.
I mean, to make it the boys, we talked about last week. I wanted her, once she realized Sam was a murderer, I wanted her to eat a whole bunch of pasta, grow big, and fight him. And like that would have been something. Like that would have been more like, yes, like you have to take this man down, even for his own good, right? Like if you say, okay, Kate is in his mind, I just wanted more of that in her crying. And
I hear you.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So
but I will say though, the one thing I did appreciate for the scene that shows that her powers isn't really triggered necessarily as what she thought was triggered, right? For her, she thought it was like her like gorging herself or her like throwing up. But really it's just about her emotions. You know what I mean? And then so, so I guess that would become a thing. Now that they're now locked up in this little prison of a thing that they're in, I feel like I don't know, I feel like she will they'll make her be the one where like she wants to find like a little small speck in the hole in the thing and
escape
and get them out. Yeah.
I like how they ended up there. I did so with the fight. I like we talked about Marie at some point like using blood around her and then like using that as a weapon. That happened. I'm glad she exploded something because it was irritating me that she was about to cut her hand, and I'm like, we've already established that you can smell blood and feel blood. I like she gave somebody a heart attack to an extent. Like I thought that was cool. So
but again, she didn't want to kill anyone. Like even Translucent Sun, she obviously, I think she realized she could just kill someone just like that. But again, she's still traumatized with what happened to her as a little girl, right? You know what I mean? And even when she made like Homeboy's dick explode or whatnot, she was not purposely trying to do that. Like she hell, even when she made Kate's hand explode, like you saw the shock in her face, like like if she wanted to, I feel like she would easily just kind of, just like, all y'all heads gonna pop off. Or maybe not, maybe she's not there yet to the heads like pop off, but like at least have like a bunch of organs just pop at least. Like to your point about heart attacks. But you know what I mean? But I feel like she's genuinely a good person in the sense that she don't want to do like Sam where just like, well, I just got to eliminate this threat, so I'm gonna rip the dude in half. You know what I mean? Just stuff like that, or Kate making people eat their own hands. That was crazy. Oh my God. Yeah.
So as much as Kate being Magneto, that's the kind of character she was trying to make. Her transformation didn't make a lot of sense to me. Like Sam has been tortured for years, right? We can understand him being like, humans are bad and it's us versus them.
Yeah.
Completely understand that. Kate was a bit much. Like she's almost more extreme than he is. And I'm like, you need to tell me something. You need to,
because it was one person that manipulated her. One person. And it wasn't even like that she even like actually went into her mind to do that. She just used some fancy words to get Kate to do it. So to your point, like Sam was actually experimenting on. He was experimenting on. He dealt with torture for pretty much every human, right? Kate was like one person, it seems. Why? Like, I agree. The 180 for her was, you're right. That was extreme. If we would have saw a little bit more of it, more of like maybe certain things that happened to her, like I guess when she went to visit the kids in the woods, perhaps. But
like, if she would have actually talked to those other suit kids and be like, they did this to me and they did that to me, and she's like, oh my God, like they're worse than what I thought, like, right, like that would, or she knew them or something, like that would be something. But like again, it was just a bit too much and too quickly for that. But anyway, I think the fight was still awesome. I really thought it was ironic that again, this whole thing was Marie and Jordan and and Emma are like, oh my God, they're imprisoning, kids in school, and they're experimenting on them. They're turning this place into a prison. Oh my God, we got to free them. And Joel's immediate reaction to these to her fellow students getting out is, we got to lock down this school and turn it into a prison. And I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Finally.
Like, you locked down the entire school, not like you were picking the ones who were crazy. You like, no, all these people got to be put into a prison. And I was like,
so that was my other complaint I had with this episode, was that everyone that was like basically in the prisons were freed, right? But then, and you see this in movies a lot, when anytime like a bad guy or a villain like goes into some prison, like, and just unlocks the door, and everyone wearing orange jumpsuits, they're all like got these mean mug look. I'm like, realistically, yes, you're going to have a lot of people who are in there for heinous stuff, going to do heinous stuff, right? But then you might have Nicolas Cage and Con Air, where it's like, yeah, I did something bad, but like, I am not that guy anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but they made it seem like all these kids were all like, oh, you're human, die, like every single one of them. And I realistically, for
if you
people
will,
superpower, realistically, yeah, I don't think it would have been like that. Like, it made it seem like if you're wearing like the little jumpsuits or whatever, what was it called, the little white shirt, sweatpants, jumpsuits or whatever, you were going crazy and just going to go rampant on folks. And it didn't. I don't know. To me, it was just, I thought that part was kind of much.
And the reason, because, and we talked about this throughout the season, they only showed you Sam's experience in this place, really, for the most part. Like I said, who were the other people that he failed to free when he got out, right? Like, we didn't necessarily see these people getting tortured, and they aren't criminals. Because I've said this before, the Woods is the third. It's the third place they have Supes imprisoned. You got a whole insane asylum with people, and they didn't act as crazy. You got a delinquent school that Marie grew up in for killing her parents. Like, you got two other places that you could have conducted these experiments that had nothing to do with the college. But yeah, again, even the college kids were just like, yeah, let's just get on this murdering thing. Like, you would, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. And then the influencer girl, like, in the end, she was just upset that she lost her internet access. I'm like, what are we doing with this character? Like, this was
hold on. I did think that part was funny, because she's like, she has nothing to do with the thing, and of course we kind of looked at her like someone who's like just like this snobby blonde haired girl. Even though I know she's not blonde, so I'm just saying like an irritated or whatever, who's all about herself. I felt like that kind of made you remember, hey, look, these are young people, right? You know what I mean? And that was the thing. So I felt like they kind of needed someone like her, because let's be real, you're talking about young people. You are going to have folks who will be oblivious to everything else. Like, it's so funny. Like, you have people literally accidentally committing suicide playing Pokemon Go or doing whatever because they're just trying to catch a little Pokemon off a cliff or doing crazy selfies. Yeah. That's who she represents. And there's so many young people like that. So you're right. It had nothing to do with it, but I think that's why it was so cool that it was just there for a second and then it was gone. It wasn't like, again, I think if it kind of if it was the whole episode, you know what I mean?
No, I hear you. I guess what I'm saying, for the effort that they put into her with the whole her manipulating Emma with the video and that kind of thing. You know, like, I thought she was gonna mean more something. I thought it was, in the end she would, whether it be for Kate or whether maybe she helps Emma like fight the evil ones or something. I just thought she was gonna be more. That's what I'm saying. That's what I thought. In the comments, so Marie is powerful. But she doesn't. I don't think she knows how powerful Homelander is. Plus, she only knows what they know of the public persona of Homelander. That like, not inside that he's an actual like murderer, but he was consistent. He believes in superhero rights and it's us against them. So it made sense that he would be like, what kind of animal are you that you would attack your own people? Like, in his mind, Marie's the villain, because you're attacking others, super people over for humans. So I did think he was consistent in his perspective. So we got thinking the situation with the brother and the fact that these people to rise up in our universe where they're not considered human like Homelander was talking about being human, like being a magnet. So we got to work on this. So let's go. Okay, let's go with the brother. So Sam talking to his brother, basically talking to himself. He was talking to himself, right? Like with Golden Boy being there, like in his head. I was a little bit irritated that we don't know why Golden Boy killed himself. We do not know that. Sam told himself that maybe his brother felt guilty about killing the professor, even though the professor was hurting him and his brother. But we still actually don't know why Golden Boy in fact killed himself. So it would have been nice to get that kind of situation like kind of resolved at some point. And it could have been in that video that he left and all that kind of stuff. So I thought that was a little bit of a thing. So to Senator Newman. So like Victoria Newman, I wanted an update on what she did with the virus because that wasn't even brought up and Marie never asked no questions.
I didn't expect it to be. Matter of fact, the moment we saw that in the last episode, I figured we probably wouldn't even see her again until the boys. And they were kind of somewhat like maybe pick up a few months after her having the virus and maybe her already kind of experimenting on actual suits, the whole everyone. Like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't see her being in this finale. You know what I mean? Like at all, really. I didn't see that. I felt like everything we saw in that episode, which I think I'm going to be correct on this. Like it's going to now lead to just the boys. You know what I mean? Like that was such a big thing that happened at that episode. I was like, they're not going to put that in the finale. You know what I mean? They'll put a second. You know what I mean? It'll just be like more of like the main plot devices in the next season of the boys.
Well,
especially so that Billy Butcher's dying and all this other stuff. So,
well, with Butcher showing up in the post-credit scene, right? Yeah. So clearly that someone told him about the virus. Someone, right? So was it Newman? And why was
that woman? What's her name? The one with the grandkids, the one who was talking to Newman, or not Newman, talking to Shefty.
Yeah,
Shefty. Yeah.
So I was like, we assumed that. Yeah. I'm saying
it's not Newman because remember, if you remember what happened with Billy Butcher and Newman, he wants to destroy Newman. So it would they ain't conversating. They ain't conversating because the next time, as if you remember with Butcher, he's like, yo, he's going to literally try to rip her head off. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Well, it's interesting that the lady was like, well, it's interesting that the lady she was like, hey, this is genocide, but she still told Butcher on top of that. Like let's see. But again, so that should be a storyline. Where's Newman? Where's the virus? Because if Butcher's down there looking for it and he doesn't find it, then they're gonna be like, well, where did it go? Like, where's the scientist? Like, where's that kind of stuff? So it'll be interesting. It would be interesting that leads to the next season of The Boys, and this is a continuation of that. And if so, then we know why Marie and crew aren't in The Boys because they're currently being held prisoner by Homelander. To an extent, I guess.
Vault, somewhere in Vault, I guess. Yeah. Because we saw the bees on their outfit.
Yeah. So, I mean, but again, they don't know what was happening in the wood. They don't know how far they were trying to that they were trying to make a virus down there to kill all of them. Because I'm sure Homelander would have been like, "What? Yeah. Like this needs to be taken care of." So, does Marie tell Homelander? Right, like, hey, the reason we did this is because Shetty and them were trying to make a virus to kill all of us, and they're like, oh, I'm saying, and we were trying to stop that. So it'd be interesting. That's the only way. I'm like, I don't know why he didn't kill her. So we need to find out what show are we gonna find out why he didn't kill her. Like, are we gonna see Homelander in Gen V season 2, or are we gonna see Marie and crew in The Boys season 3?
I think in the next season, I mean, especially with that post-credit thing with Butcher, I think we'll see them in The Boys. We'll see the kids in The Boys. It won't. I don't think the kids themselves will be the main arc of the next season of The Boys. However, I do think that like someone like Emma or somebody else will escape and somehow get in contact with either with the old woman who will probably get in contact with Billy Butcher, and then with Billy Butcher's help and Mother's Milk and all of them. Maybe rescue the kids, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be like an unlikely partnership, which we might just see like from an episode or two, essentially. And while he starts calling everyone the C word over and over again. You know what I mean? I think, yeah, and then I feel like Billy Butcher will be extra curious on Marie in the sense that it would take like a laser eye attack against Homelander and survive. So I can't wait because I'll say this: both the boys and Gen V has been really good as far as like giving you like, oh, this is like someone wakes up and this happens and we're like, oh, when are we going to see it? And then what they usually kind of have us see it. So I feel like in the beginning of whether it be actually The Voice or Gen V season 2, we will see like what really happened because like that dude, like he had this laser eye going, and then like next thing you know, you're hearing Jordan and Andre's like, wow, man, you took Homelander's Ollie's thing like a champ. Oh my God, I'm surprised you're still alive. You know, I feel like they're going to show like probably what really happened.
Yeah,
which I'm waiting for. Yeah. So that'll be kind of interesting to see what actually happened right there. You know what I mean?
So we got Kate and Sam portrayed as the heroes. So like, are we gonna see Kate with like one arm, like or
maybe she has a cybernetic thing or something? You know? So yeah, no. What I thought that was very smart to have both of them seen as the heroes because now we see what Homelander's propaganda is doing, right? And essentially, I feel like now we're probably gonna have those two. If those two are not in the 7 now, they'll basically be like Homelander's, like a bit like having Homelander's like minions essentially. You know what I mean? And so either way, they're gonna be working with Homelander essentially, which is kind of I was like when I saw the hero thing, you saw Homelander kind of smiling, smirking at the thing. I was like, oh my God, these are the worst two you want to be working with Homelander. It was like, oh, this ain't good. It was like a psychopathic dude who looks at and puppets and just rip people in half like it's nothing, and then a girl who's just like who has a crazy psychic power.
Well, so I also with her powers again, I thought it was kind of unusual. I would have expected that Kate would be able to hear Sam talking to himself and be like, when she's like, "What's happening?" Like when she's talking to him, she don't realize that he's like talking to his brother or whatever. Like I kind of wanted to be like she could hear his thoughts and be like, so she could hear both sides of the conversation. I think that would have been interesting. They pick and choose like when her powers work, basically. Like so if she's trying to get to Jordan, all of a sudden that's somehow super slow motion. Yeah. And then like Marie's like blows up her arm, like she didn't hear that. Like again, it's all for plot convenience.
See, the problem is, well, here's the deal. Anytime you're doing a TV show, though, you're right. Realistically, if someone had that type of power, they'll be unstoppable, but they will forget everything. So therefore, you can't have a show. So I feel like anytime she's that means, to your point, even though it makes sense that that's what her power would be, but then you put in a TV show and she's interacting with people, nothing would ever happen because she already knows what's going to happen or what people are thinking. Therefore, she might just already kill someone. You're like, well, damn, just let it happen. But you're like, wait, no, but that's her power. So therefore, she already knows. Like, I hear you. But they need to kind of have the story. They need to make the story happen, as we always say.
No, I get you. So I get, my other, as we talked about a few times, now that she's off the pills, right? And she can hear like intercept thoughts apparently at random, right? I still wanted her to at least kill, like kind of like Marie, kind of like step up her game and kill at least one person with her mind. Like just to say that's possible. To say that's possible. That and she doesn't always have to touch someone because she's still at the touch level. She's still at the touch level.
I don't think she just knows how to control it because I think she has that power. She's just like a lot of these young people who have all these they're starting to unlock their other powers that they're just not able to control. Obviously with Marie with the blood, and then now Emma not realizing that her powers actually is coming from this or whatnot. I feel like that's the same thing with Kate. Like I feel like Kate is slowly, because she just found out just the other day, if this is like 24 hours after Shepty died or whatnot, that if she's off the pills, right? I can not only hear thoughts and I can make, or like in the case where all of them all the kids try to come after her and then they got trapped in her mind without her touching them. She has that power. I just don't think she knows how to control it. So I think all she knows is to touch, but I feel like for one, she only have one arm, so maybe it would just be like the one hand thing. Which actually that would be kind of dope. If she has a cybernetic arm, maybe that cybernetic arm's like super strong, and then it's like the hand of death is what she has. Like the other hand of death, like touches you or whatever. I don't know. Actually, that would actually be super dope if they go that route with her, make her like a true villain.
And also, but to your point of she's not there yet, right? Like, it would be interesting if in season 2, if her powers grow to a point that she can like I said, she can trap people in her own mind, so maybe she can manipulate them without having to touch them, like and see how she grows with that. The puppet thing didn't come back. I actually thought Sam would have seen more puppets, as he was killing people. We can understand when does the puppet thing kick in, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it all the time, or is it just and like when he's and he's not again? He's not on his medication
all the time. I think it's to show that it's pretty much all the time with the puppet thing, unless he's like around Emma, right? But the thing is, though, but if you notice the times when we don't see the puppets, or usually like those serious moments, and I kind of get it where they're not going to show the puppets, because at that point, I don't know, it would probably take me out. Like that scene, even though it was an awesome scene in episode 3, where like they come out the helicopter, like, whoa, no, they're ripping us apart. Oh! That was like, it had funny music in the background. It was meant to be kind of funny. Even, not really a serious moment. Didn't really have anything to do with anything other than them trying to get an escaped person, Sam. That if you can imagine that crazy chaotic scene of all the suits going crazy out into the courtyard, just seeing Sam, just seeing all of them as puppets, I don't know, at least for me, it would have taken me out of it. I would have been like, okay, like it would have been hilarious, but then I don't think I would have taken the gravity of it. I don't know. So in my head, I think he's already seeing puppets. He's seen, which is why he's able to rip people.
And
yeah.
So was that based on the experimentation, or is that his own psychosis minus the experimentation? Like, did they do that to him? You know what I'm saying? Was he always been like that? Again, we got other seasons to explore Sam and Kate and see where this goes. But that would be interesting. So with the arm explosion, so Marie is you think she'll be more comfortable with killing people with the blood powers? And can we still see her as a sympathetic hero?
For baddies, for certain baddies, I mean, sure, like, you know what I mean? But I don't think but just like if you're dealing with vault enemies coming after her, I don't know if they'll just necessarily just have her just like start like making them either explode or having stuff necessarily pop off, unless it's like something life or death. You know what I mean? Because again, what I'm seeing with her, at least the way they want us to feel about her, that she's a very sympathetic character. You know what I mean? And I think it was very important that the very first thing we saw in the pilot episode was her accidentally killing her parents. And I don't think we will see her. I think we'll continuously see her try to restrain herself. And then, like, worst case, like last resort, like that's what because if you think about it, she still has not killed anyone since her parents. Has she? No, she hasn't killed. No. Yeah, she hasn't killed a single person after her parents. And then,
are we ever going to see her sister?
Because even when she made something explode, when she made even the hands explode, that was by accident. I think she was just trying to do what she did with that girl, like kind of give her like a heart palpitation or whatnot. I think that's what she was probably trying to do. But then she saw how fast that he was about to touch, was it Andre? And then she was just like, it's just like, you know what I mean? I don't think
I thought she was about to touch Jordan. I think she was about to touch Jordan.
Yeah.
Because I thought Jordan was dead. I thought Jordan was dead, and then because Jordan started moving in slow motion. I was like,
they did a thing where they turned towards the other, and they're like 30 feet away. I was like, oh, Sam. In my head, I was like, oh, Sam's going to come out of nowhere and like put like a hand through like Jordan's chest. I just knew. I was like, why are they doing this scene where it's like they're like, yeah, and they're like 30 feet away. I'm like, oh, they're going to do it. This is bad. And it did. Yeah.
Well, no, Marie. I think Marie exploded the arm on purpose because Kate was about to touch Jordan. So I think she wasn't trying to kill her. She wasn't trying to kill her, but she's like, I got to stop this from happening. And
did you see her face though when she did it?
Huh?
Did you see her face when she did it though?
I hear you, but I still feel like she did it on purpose at some level. Even though she may have been. She saved her love, you know what I'm saying? So like she may feel bad about it, but she still had to do it. I think. But again, maybe they'll talk about that.
What do you think about the whole thing with Maverick, with the whole thing where it's like she's basically like talking to an invisible man, like talking to like Kevin Bacon, essentially. It's like,
that's exactly what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. When I saw that scene, I thought of the Invisible Man with Kevin Bacon. And I'm like, that's a good callback, because that's clearly what they must have been thinking of when they did that. Because I was like, because you just saw the blood and then you saw in the trace of them. I was like, this is Invisible Man, and I was like, that's a good one, because that was a pretty good movie. I did like that. I think that she has no control over it, yet the power to explode things reminds me of the body part. The body part of people, blood to make them internally, and I don't know, but so I think so. Maybe she was gonna try to control the blood to control the arm, and it became too much, and then she exploded it. Like
probably just I personally think she was just trying to disable her, but not disable her. You know what I mean? And and that's why I don't think she'll be, like you said, comfortable killing. I don't think she was comfortable killing because she hasn't killed anyone other than when she first time she ever used her powers. I don't think she'll.
Are we ever gonna see her sister grown?
Oh, absolutely. They keep teasing it so much. Oh yeah.
See, that was kind of good. Yeah, I was like, come on, stop bringing up her sister unless you're gonna show it to her. But they did it with Butcher's wife, and they showed her, right? Like at the season finale, right? Season 1, they were like, oh, like she exists. Here's the kid. Like she's not dead, and now we have something to work towards. So part of me would have been like, it would have been nice to like we see her sister watching TV and what she's doing, something.
What if her first kill would have to be against her sister? Yo, I'm just saying, because her sister, I don't know. I think I have a feeling that her sister is obviously. I mean, I guess how old would she be now? Like 14, I guess. I guess she'd be like 14. How many years? Maybe.
All right. I don't think they got all that. I don't remember.
Yeah,
she's still a teenager either way. She's still younger than Marie. So, I mean, you're still talking about a teenager. So let's say 16. Let's say 15, 16.
16. Yeah, I feel like, okay. Well, I guess they're not going to just have kids just being shown on screen just dying like that on the boys necessarily. But I feel like she is going to be like team Butcher in a way. Or I guess, well, Butcher's not really necessarily like that anymore. But yeah, I feel like she's going to be on the side of probably looking at folks like Emma and Marie, her sister, and Andre as the villains, right?
Yeah.
And then I feel like maybe there'll be a showdown where like, oh, it's like, you took everything from me. You took my parents and whatnot, blah, 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 blah. You killed all those people at that school. And she's trying to talk her sister off the ledge, and maybe her sister's about to shoot her or kill her. And then maybe she's forced to like
kill her sister,
like the Scarlet Witch did to Thunderbolt in a sense, except not make him talk and have a safe spot. Yeah, maybe something like that, and maybe that'll be her first death since her parents. I think it'll be poetic if they did it like that. It'll be so Shakespearean in the sense of the people she killed were all her family.
I hear you. So if she goes the route of she's the new Butcher, right? You know what I'm saying? She's out there trying to kill Soups, and maybe somehow she gets involved with the virus situation, and she wants to use something like that. So like only if she's trying to kill Soups, and therefore it's a me versus her type of thing. And yeah, like I said, she's trying to talk to her. She's trying to talk. I can see that, but she would have to be trying to kill Soups on a grand scale or something. Like, but that would. Yeah. But then
I think they'll utilize her. I think what's going to happen is Marie's not playing ball with the senator, right? Senator obviously clearly loves Marie, but then maybe Marie basically breaks her heart, being like, "Damn, I saw you. I mean, I saw myself when I was looking at you," and then to the point was like, "Well, she's going to have to get the virus too." And then maybe her sister out of the blue, it's like, "Okay, I'll meet with you." And then Loki doesn't realize that maybe the sister has the virus, and her intent was to maybe spread the virus to her own sister, and maybe her sister. Maybe Marie senses that, or senses like the blood, or I don't know, or whatever. I don't know what technique they're going to use, and be forced to kill their own sister just to make sure that countless of people don't die or something, right? And then at that point, yes, Marie will be probably the Marie that we be like essentially like the boys in the sense of like every single person from Butcher to Frenchie and everyone all had horrible backstories, right? And I think this will kind of define Marie to the point where now Marie. Probably now at this point will be like, you know what? If I got to kill someone, I have to kill someone. But I feel like that won't happen until maybe she possibly kills her sister. I think.
So I like this thing too. The idea of her killing her sister would be something, but she doesn't know that. And I mentioned this in one of our previous videos that maybe her sister also has powers, and she doesn't. They have similar powers, right? And so she can't control it. So she's out there like killing people, and she has to take her down. Like, because I would have liked that story better. That it wasn't just Marie. Like her mom, maybe her sister's the one that killed, her dad or some shit like that, and she just thought it was her. She just thought it was her, but actually it was her sister was involved, and that would be interesting. The kind of break story out.
How do you like the humanization of the powers in the sense of like what we're seeing with polarity? I like the idea. I mean, I guess we've seen this in other properties too, not necessarily for like DC and Marvel stuff, but usually like off-brand comic book stuff where it's like the powers is the thing that's kind of killing you. You know what I mean? Obviously, we kind of saw that with Kate with her utilizing her powers too much, but realistically, with the whole thing with Andre's father using power so much that now there's like a huge abscess in his brain, and it's essentially killing him every time he uses his power. Which I guess we kind of saw that in last season of The Boys, with Compound P kind of affecting
Butcher and so that hold on, okay, I'm trying to get to I want to get that kid's name. So that goes into how late it is when you get it. So so it's Huey. So I was gonna say it would be interesting if you find out that the reason it happens to certain people is because they're not born with it, like they get it too late, so therefore it's not as stable in their bloodstream as other people, like, or something like that. Because Homelander, he was born because his dad was a superhero, so he was born a superhero. So like he's more stable. Maeve is more stable, but they can still be hurt. It was interesting. It was weird how Andre all of a sudden, just talking to his dad, now all of a sudden every time he uses his powers, he's like, oh shit, I'm getting a migraine. I'm like, what? Like when was this a thing? Like you used the powers before, so I don't understand how that would make Andre's dad help Vought create a virus that would make Soup sick. I don't understand how one equals the other.
He didn't. No. I think he just knew about it. He just didn't say anything about it. He just kind of kept.
Well, why not? Like that doesn't.
Well, why not?
Again, that does. Like why would he be complicit in it if you just allowed it to happen and tell your son like don't do anything about this? Why would he even?
It was the same reason why the Deep didn't tell Vought like what Homelander was plotting, because he was afraid of Homelander, and just like here, Polarity was playing ball because he knew what would probably possibly happen to him. And probably get the 7 to be sick on him. You know what I mean? That's why like in that episode, like when he's like reaching over to Andre, he's like, shut your mouth. I'm trying to protect you. Shut your mouth. Like, don't say anything. You know what I mean? I think if anything, it was just like him just being scared. Just like Maeve was freaking scared after like threatening Homelander to say, yo, I will tell everyone what happened with that plane. And then she just kind of just shut up. I feel like we're starting to see Soups just being so controlled by Vought and their messaging went out that they're forced to just be quiet, essentially. You know what I mean? And
so these are to your point, these are not the same thing. They were scared of Homelander because Homelander could kill them, right? Like this. But
Deep was afraid of Vought himself. Was afraid of Vought and what was going to happen with Vought. And to be honest with you, and it was Vought, and then what Vought will do is then get Homelander on you. Same thing, no different from Polarity. How would Vought deal with Polarity? Oh, they would send somebody from the 7, or maybe all of them from the 7, to come after them. You know what I mean? Same thing we just saw in this episode. It was like, oh, Vault's going to have it. Vault has an issue with this. What they do? Send him. You know, essentially, I feel like it's everything. It's like just because he's the mastermind of who it is, that doesn't like, but it's the guy who calls them in the first place, right? So, like, so like we always had this kid in school, right? And he snitched or whatever. He's always a snitch. He always tells the teacher that we always like did not like playing with him, or we always kind of kept our mouth shut around him, because it wasn't because we were necessarily we were afraid of him in the sense of like, yo, we're afraid of this kid, but it was like more of like what would happen like if this kid, like if there's certain things we were doing, or we were saying the F word on the blacktop or whatever. So it was just more like, I think it was more like that. You know what I mean? He was just he wasn't doing Polarity. I don't think was doing anything evil in the sense of helping them. He was just complicit and just didn't say it. I'm like, he was a witness, and he just kept his mouth, and he just was afraid to say anything.
I feel it was more financial support. I feel like he said like if Vought
Oh,
cuts
that's
us
it.
off, I would go more with that. He was like, because he
Yeah.
said you have to do this, you have to take care of your family. So it's like, Andre, I need you to, to join, to join the 7 or whatever, because I can't make the money anymore. You got to pay, even though we only see them 2. I think it was more of that than like physically a fairy, because he could tell the 7, hey guys, they're trying to kill us, and then and Homelander would take care of all that shit. Like they're trying to do what? Like create a virus to go against us? He would have destroyed that school like by himself. If he knew exactly what Shetty and them were doing, that's what I'm saying. But that was only Shetty though. So if he knew Vought was trying to create a virus to control Supes, he would have took that place down. If he knew Shetty was trying to make one to kill Supes, he definitely would have killed her. But it would be interesting to see how Kate and Homelander work together and how he feels about Sam. Like Mason. Well, Andre, when he used his powers, he strains. We see him strain plenty of times using his powers. Strain is not the same thing as it's killing him. Like even Kate was like, it's too much for me. Like sometimes, Kate fell out a few times, like when she overexerted herself, but not necessarily that there's like a medical reason. It was a Knight. It was the investigator who also had a brain issue, right?
Yeah.
So,
but Andre, I think the point that he's trying to make is every single time we saw Andre using like a lot of force or whatnot, he would like stop and like after he's done, like he was wiped out. Just I think it was like no similar to what we saw with the helicopter. It was like, and that's a huge object, right? You know what I mean? Hell, if you even want to go back to even with the X-Men 3, when Magneto moved that freaking bridge, like he had to get carried at that point because of the size and magnitude of what that was.
Yeah.
I don't think it was just like they were just trying to. I think what you're trying to say is like they conveniently placed it there after his diagnosis. I don't. No, we've always seen him.
All right.
Where if it's a big object, like compared to like this his father's statue, and all he had to do was just crush the head. It didn't take that much because it was just you're just talking about an object that's like that big compared to like a freaking ambulance, right? You know what I mean? And trying to go in again, like, you know what I mean?
No, I get you. It was a big project, like moving.
Now, to your point, if we saw like it immediately showed his nose bleeding or something like that, then I could see him like, oh, okay,
So eventually, the powers will make you grow a tumor eventually, and grow cancer. That seems to be the common thing. Like the Knight, like the investigator, he had specifically a brain issue.
But it was mental. I think anyone who has like their powers come from the mental, right? Like Kate, like what you're seeing dealing with Kate Knight, right? And then essentially polarity, essentially, right? I feel like those guys, like their mental, like that stuff, will like essentially the stuff that comes from the mind is essentially kind of killing you, right? But then if you're just someone that's just super strong, right? If like Jordan's powers, I don't see Jordan's powers really killing her because she's not having anything that has affected her mind necessarily.
Well, she has to think about switching though. Like when she switches
think about it. That's just like kind of just saying like, hey, I'm thinking about blinking my eyes. I don't think that's not as strong as like me using complete force. Now in real life, right? Let's just say all I'm doing is just moving this huge boulder, right? Like I might do a good job hitting that boulder, but I'm using so much power of me using that. Eventually, that can make my lungs collapse. That can make me get like all kind of ulcers and whatnot. That's that could kill me, right? Just like if you're affecting a whole bunch of people's minds at once, you're pushing too hard, as they say. You're pushing so hard that it's killing you, right? Polarity was known to freaking like move stuff from like buildings, right? Where you do that in real life with just your human hand and whatnot, then you're dead, right? Comparative to just like more of like, oh, I'm just going to switch a gender. Like I don't think it's not the same. I don't see it as the same. You know what I mean?
I think they're picking and choosing. I would say they're picking and choosing who they give this cancer stuff to. But then
why would they do that for Compound V? So the Compound V makes sense because you're not, like you said, once you become older, and then you're using that like your body kind of rejects it, right? But I feel like realistically, if you have a power, right, and especially your power is more like initiates from the more mental, mind. Right? Your mind, that essentially kind of start killing, I don't know. I mean,
I got you. I know, but like again, so I know this generation was the whole like they were older kids that they put the V in. It wasn't like previous generations where they're almost like born with it. They had it at birth, right? So then, and they were saying like it's harder like for them to get it. Same thing with Butcher, as we talked about, you know, like when they got injected with, it was their heads, like they were having brain, it was in their heads, like the cancer was in their heads. I do believe it was attacking their brains, and they kept on injecting themselves. They were going to die.
Because it wasn't like the purest thing, or I forgot what it was, and then the fact that they were adults. It's
anyway,
it's a whole mess. But yeah,
we gotta see. I am looking forward to season 2. I'm looking forward to season 2. How did they get out of Vought? Is it still going to be Kate versus Marie and crew, or are we going to branch out and get new members somehow? I'll be interested to see how that goes. And
so much for the school, right? So the school's done for, right? So
I like that.
There you go.
I like that. I was like, I'm not gonna watch them go through like their senior year and be like, oh, we're gonna graduate. I was like, let's not do this.
You don't want another Tariq. You don't want them to be in class.
Thank you. I didn't want to say it. I was like, I can't do any more classroom shit.
You don't want
like,
yeah. Like, who did the reading? I was like, yeah. So I did the reading about Frankenstein and about the creators. Like, you create Frankenstein, this is what you get. Frankenstein's monster. Is he a monster, or is he just the monster, or is he just a creation from the monster?
I was like,
Tariq, everybody.
Thank you, Tariq.
Tariq can't say it, Patrick.
I was like, stop all that. All right. So, as we wrap it up, anything else for Generation V?
No. One of the few good spinoffs we've had of an already successful show. So, good spinoff. We haven't had something like that since maybe the Jeffersons. You know what I mean? From All in Family, perhaps. Cool. I'm not wrong. But overall, good. Can't wait to see how it ties into this new season of The Boys that's coming up soon. And it's funny that we just did Invincible, and now we're doing this. I guess is this a time that we should do a plug for Mortal Kombat, since Omni-Man and Homelander is both in Mortal Kombat. So choose your character. Flawless victory. Goodbye, folks.
Bye, Chris. we will see you, sir, for Loki. All right, everyone. Thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. I think what will happen next season for them going to other places and other schools where they have superheroes and start collecting other heroes. To that point, again, they have the school that Marie grew up in. The delinquent home. They got the asylum, which is full of unstable soups. Both of those should be explored. So it'd be interesting. I think the school is still going to be in play. So we got to see, like, if they're going to get a new dean or whatever, like how do they recover from that? How many other students are we going to see running back? But I hope it doesn't center around the school like that. That would, I can't do any more classes. I don't want to do that. But anyway, thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. We got Loki at 11 o'clock. So we're talking about some more multiverse stuff. And then we have Only Murders in the Building. We got that coming up at 1 o'clock. So please stick around and we'll do that. So till next time. I will say thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. I see people watching in the chat.
I enjoyed The View very much. I don't know what the fuck I was watching.
Rewatch this when we're done. Rewatch this. You'll see what we're talking about. You'll be like, oh shit.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
What do I go ahead?
Oh shit. Stacey, do your thing. Fuck that shit.
But anyway, please like and share and comment on the video and all that kinds of stuff. As they say, we're just going to end this broadcast and say bye.